Hello, everyone. This is K6WJR Kilo 6 Whiskey Juliet Romeo here as I go through my general class study session. I thank you for joining me on this adventure. I'll check the flashcards here at the HamStudy.org website, and I'll show you. This is a brief 10-minute video to show you how I'm doing. So let's go through question G4A01. What is the purpose of the notch filter found on HF transceivers? A. To reduce interference from carriers in the receiver bus passband. B. To restrict transmitter voice bandwidth. C. To enhance the reception of a specific frequency on a crowded band. Or D. To eliminate receiver interference from impulse noise sources. Gosh, notch filter. I'm not sure. I think it's B. No! Okay, it's A. Ah, dang it. Alright, let's go on to question G1E08. Which of the following is a requirement for a non-licensed person to communicate with a foreign amateur radio station from a station with an FCC granted license at which an FCC licensed control operator is present? A, B, C, or D? I think it's A. Yay! Here's the third question, G1A13. What is the appropriate action if, when operating on either the 30-meter and 60-meter bands, a station in the primary service interferes with your contact? A, B, C, or D? A. Increase your transmitter's power to overcome the interference. B. Notify the FCC's regional engineer in charge of the interference. C. Attempt to contact the station and request that it stop the interference. Or D. Move to a clear frequency or stop transmitting. Let's see. I'm going to say D. Yeah. Okay. Question G6B12. Which of the following connectors would be a good choice for a serial data port? I've seen this one before. It's DE9. What frequency range is occupied by a 3 kHz USB signal with the displayed carrier frequency set to 14.347 MHz? What frequency range is occupied by a 3 kHz USB signal with the displayed carrier? Oh boy. What frequency range is occupied by a 3 kilohertz? I think it's A. No! It's D. Oh, yeah. I see. 47 to 50. I was way off. What precaution should you take if you install an indoor transmitting antenna? Question G0A11. Well, I would say it's A. No! It is C. Damn. I'm not so good at these. I need more studying. Question G4A01. We've seen this one before. It is, what was it again? Yeah, in this case it's D. G1C03. What is the maximum bandwidth permitted by FCC rules for amateur radio stations transmitting on USB frequencies in the 60-meter band? 2.8 kilohertz. How'd I know that? Let's see. The 60-meter band is a special case. Amateur allocation is secondary. The government has first dibs, and amateurs can only use 5 specific frequency channels. To keep interference to a minimum when using voice modes, amateur radio operators may only use upper sideband signals with a maximum bandwidth of 2.8 kHz. There is also a power restriction, 100 watt PEP. Refer to FCC Part 97.303S. Yes, and there's our chart. Not going to go to that right now. Question G5A03. Which of the following causes opposition to the flow of alternating current in an inductor? Causes opposition: A. Admittance, B. Conductance, C. Reluctance, D. Reactance. I would say conductance. No! Gee whiz, it's D. Reactance. Excuse me. Well, let's see here. Question G3B03. Which of the following applies when selecting a frequency for lowest attenuation when transmitting on HF? A. Select a frequency just below the muff. B. I don't know what muff is. B. Select a frequency just above the LUF. Again, I have no idea what that means, LUF. C. Select a frequency just below the critical frequency. D. Select a frequency just above the critical frequency. I have no idea what this is talking about. I know it is a, well, whatever MUF is. I don't know what these terms are. Let me find out. Attenuation or absorption of radio signal is lowest at the frequency just below the maximum usable frequency. MUF, maximum usable frequency. The maximum usable frequency is the highest frequency you can use at a specific time and location, which will still allow your signal to be reflected back to Earth rather than continuing into outer space. In this frequency region, the signal strength is higher and the reflection distances can be longer. See more on Wikipedia. Well, I'm not going to bother right now. Next question. G8A06. What is one advantage of carrier suppression in a single sideband phone transmission versus full carrier amplitude modulation? A. Available transmitter power can be used more effectively. B. Audio fidelity is improved. C. Simpler receiving equipment can be used. D. Greater modulation percentage is obtainable with lower distortion. Wow. Golly jeez, I have no fracking clue. Audio fidelity is improved. No, it is A. Available transmitter power can be used more effectively. I need more studying time. Question G0A11. What precautions should you take if you install an indoor transmitting antenna? As I recall, it is D. Yes. Make sure that MPE limits are not exceeded in occupied areas. You should use testing equipment, calibrated field strength meter, and calibrated antenna to make sure that the maximum permissible exposure, MPE, maximum permissible exposure limits are not exceeded. G4D09, what frequency range is occupied by 3 kHz USB signal with displayed carrier frequency set to 14? Yeah, I remember this one already. There it is, A. G1A09, which of the following frequencies is within the general class portion of the 15-meter band? Oh, gracious. It's 24.9. No, it's not. It's 21.3. 21.3 kilohertz. General class privileges let us use the ranges of 21.025 to 21.200 megahertz CW data and 21.275 to 21.450 megahertz phone, so the answer 21300 kilohertz falls within the phone range of the 15-meter band. Note, remember that the 15-meter band actually is located below 15 meters from delta 300. I'm sorry, lambda. That's not delta, that's lambda. Lambda 300 slash 21.450 megahertz equals 13.98 meters to lambda 300 slash 21.025 megahertz equals 14.27 meters. If you remember this and check the wavelength of the two values that are close, 18.155 and 21.300, you will find that 18.155 give us a wavelength